guys, so Merry Christmas to you guys if you guys are celebrating Christmas today, and late Merry Christmas to you guys if it was yesterday. But we are going to be updating the PvP tier list for December 2024 before we move on to the next year of 2025 with the 6 new cookies that we added for the PvE tier list. Of course, just keep in mind this is going to be based on my experience as well as my opinion, looking at the whole picture. And of course, if you guys have anything, please leave it down in the comments below. But let's get started quickly here, guys, with the D tier and go all the way to the meta and add the new cookies. So we have D tier staying the same with Sonic all the way down to Tiger Lily. So that is not going to be changing anytime soon until maybe Raspberry, Fig, Lilac, Sparkling, Tiger Lily gets a magic candy. Next it's going to be from Chili Pepper all the way down to Cherry Blossom here, guys. Same here too. Nothing really has changed. Again, maybe when some of these cookies get magic candy, we might see them in the arena, or if they do come out with a new arena mode like we have for the epic only, some of these cookies might be used there. Next is going to be B tier from Kumio all the way down to Crunchy Chip, and then with the almond to end it. Same here too. I think everything is pretty much the same, I gotta say. So the same thing applies to all of these cookies in the lower tier. If they get a magic candy, if they get a buff, maybe we'll see them higher if it is possible. Alright, moving on to the A tier is going to be from T-Night all the way down to Space Donut, and then we do have from Peppermint, and then ending it with BTS. So again, these cookies are pretty good, decent to start off with. Of course, you still want to aim for the higher tiers because they're just more versatile. They can be used in a lot more different teams. They're just stronger overall, but some of these cookies are decent as well. So you guys do have options. If you guys are just starting off, you don't know which cookies to use, just look at the tier list and see which cookies are viable as of right now. Alright, and then moving on to the S tier is going to be from Crimson Coral all the way down to Black Lemonade, and then we have Twizzly all the way down to Shining Glitter. One cookie I brought down from the last tier list to the S tier is actually going to be Fro Jellyfish. So Fro Jellyfish with the magic candy is pretty decent and can be used, but in my opinion it's probably not something that a lot of people will actually invest in. And honestly, if it's just for this particular reason, probably not the best to invest in. Not really worth all of the materials and resources that you have to actually use. So I'm gonna put Fro Jellyfish in the S tier as well. And again, hopefully if we do see some of them with the magic candy, I mean someone like Star Coral or even Peach Blossom might actually be really good. I actually did bring up Rockstar, I believe, to the S tier. I could be wrong, but I believe Rockstar is at least an S tier here too. I think if it was A tier, a little too low. So I brought Rockstar up to the S tier as a pretty decent healer stash buffer inside of teams that require something like this. Alright, and then moving on to the SS tier is gonna be from our Stormbringer all the way down to Pure Vanilla. Alright, so we do have the classics. Nothing really changes here too. Some people, I think this is debatable too nowadays. The creme brulee, SS tier or S tier, depending on how you guys look at it. It is really hard to use creme brulee nowadays just because of the fact that we have just insanely strong burst damage, and especially with no financier, especially with nobody who's there to protect creme brulee. Creme brulee is kind of hard to use, so I guess we can kind of I'm gonna leave it up to you guys in the comment section whether you guys think creme brulee should be in the S tier or the SS tier. That is, I will leave it up to you guys, but that is pretty much what we have for the SS tier. This is the non-awakened golden cheese. And then last, it's gonna be the meta tier here, guys, and the meta tier is pretty much the same as well. I mean, we haven't had any cookies that really broke this new tier except for the Awakened Golden Cheese, which was the latest addition. So with that, PvP is pretty much, at least the meta side of things, is almost the same as before. People have been, using more different teams inside of the Epic Only arena, and hopefully when the 7v7 Epic Only does come out too, that will be very interesting to see. But let's add in the new cookies that we have had, and that's gonna be Camellia. Camellia first is gonna be inside of in my opinion, S tier or SS tier. Personally, I want to put it at the SS tier, just because of the buffs that Camellia does have. Because of the debuffs that Camellia does have, like the debuff buff removal, the weakness debuff, the stuns and stuff. But that is it. In front, not able to use skill most of the time, kind of does hurt Camellia. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. SS tier or S tier in between here is where I want to put Camellia. And then we have Golden Ass Mantis and the Red Ass Mantis. I think those two just deserve around A tier as well, or even somewhere in the B tier. But I think their numbers are a little bit better. But I think this is also something that is kind of iffy nowadays to put some epic cookies in. I will put them at B tier just because of the fact that some of these cookies do the same thing as these two as well. Their damage output and stuff. Actually, Golden Ass Mantis could stay in B tier. I think Red Ass Mantis could be in A tier. These two, I think Red does have a little bit more viability here and there, but Golden Ass Mantis is very, I would say, just typical within these like cookies here, guys. Next one is going to be putting out of mode. Putting out of mode, I am going to be putting inside of the A tier as well. I think A tier is going to be okay just because of the fact that putting out of mode does shine inside of the actual PvE side of things. But PvP, actually, we'll put it in here. I personally think inside of the epic only arena, it will be really good, especially if you guys do use it with someone like Choco Drizzle and Green Tea Mousse. But by herself, she does decent damage. She is okay. The drone damage is not that great either, though. But if you have the Team Drizzle buff, that's going to be another story. So we're waiting for that 7v7. But inside of the regular arena, not really going to be a thing. All right, I think I'm just gonna actually put it at the A tier, and then we'll just leave it at that. And then Choco Drizzle is actually someone that I want to put in the S tier for sure, because of the fact that you are able to do some good amount of damage. The cookie is suited for PvP, like arena. I don't know how it's going to be later down the line. Maybe like if we get an early magic candy, Choco Drizzle definitely has a chance at the meta. But like being an epic cookie and having like just the fact that you have to be able to one-shot these cookies, like, or get them really low to do damage, is really hard just because there's so much burst damage, there's big heals, protection, and all that craziness going on. But I think Choco Drizzle, SS or S tier in between here for me personally. That's another thing that I would leave it in the comments for you guys, but you will probably not see Choco Drizzle inside of the regular arena as of right now still. And the last one is Green Tea Mousse. Green Tea Mousse is also like an S tier, or in my opinion, you could even go into the SS tier looking at these other tanks. The skill is actually really good. I can actually use Green Tea Mousse inside of my 7v7 right now, and still Green Tea will survive. However, inside of the regular arena, again, not going to be as strong as like these cookies right here, Burning Spice and like Dark Cacao. But I mean, you guys saw that Green Tea Mousse was able to be used with someone like Dark Cacao inside of my review video. So I will leave as of right now in the SS tier, but that's pretty much what we have, guys. These guys are very iffy. Like their situations are very iffy. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think as well. But that is gonna wrap it up for the PvP tier list for December 2024, with the new update coming out very soon to end the year, and then we have Shadow Mill coming out in probably 2 weeks or so for the 4th anniversary. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you have anything, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.